In between my bouts of idiotic self-pity and hatred, I often wonder how well I would function as a person in political office. But then it doesn't take me long to remember that if I was ever in the placement of political power, all the planets would instantly align, causing every single piece of life on Earth to be instantly evaporated in the single blink of one godforsaken eye. The 1800s, on the other hand, did not have this problem, though partially because it was known as the BC era, and partially because good old honest Abe Lincoln was elected into the office of 1861. Abe unfortunately had the side effect of being elected into the office while the country was going through a few sibling problems, the equivalent of two morons playing happy swaps with each other. Yes, the North and South had gone from backyard bandits stealing from each other, though let's just have a big kill-off and let thousands of people die in the process with no direct harm to us. Wink, wink. I believe the final nail in the coffin had something to do with taxes, tariffs, slavery, favorite Superman costume, preferred brand of nation, ice cream, and blah blah blah. But let's disregard my pathetic attempts of humor and continue down the subject matter of good old honest Abe. There was something that Abe hated more than the idea of slavery, so it wasn't too surprising that he tried to push that idea onto the country. And while the North went along with it like good little boys and girls, the South was in apparently a not giving a crap kind of mood that day at the hearing. And the North, being the dry, stiff, stereotypical citizens of the day that we were, took quite the offense to that. During this section of the old Texas hoedown, Abe found himself at high command of the Northern Army, but it was more problematic than he could have imagined. Partially due to the fact that most Northerners had about as much combat experience as a dead cat letting them reenact dying scenes from absolutely any action movie you could ever think of, which for the first half of the Civil War in the Union Army looked genuinely pathetic, and that definitely wasn't a good image for Abe. And it definitely didn't look good on Abe's part when his men were being left to the mercy of the South and the Ranger Texas Walkers. This was mostly due to the fact that Abe was having trouble finding a war general to lead the Union Army, so in the meantime he just sent letters to his troops telling them to hold off as long as they could. That's not to say that Abe had so little combat experience that he didn't know which side of the gun made the loud noises, it's just that he didn't have much experience on the big tactical overlord map. And this was definitely not helped by Miss Mary Todd Lincoln, who in the 18th century was medically diagnosed as being backcrap bonkers. I spent a great many a day writing letters to Abe about the day that she met a garden gnome that knew a duck that flew to Narnia. Though it's hard to try and kick down the door to her clubhouse and tell her that it's her fault when all four of her children died before they could have children of their own, no pun intended. Or because she was accused of being some kind of secret ninja of the South, or something along those lines. He was also infamous for buying 300 pairs of the exact same kind of glove that Abe and his politician friends ended up having to pay for in the end. So Abe's funds were constantly tumbling between merry, risky, and payment. Oh my, predictable joke. Part of the weight was relieved from Abe's shoulders when John made the scene to help out with the war effort, but trouble never left his shoulders entirely. I often wonder if, given the chance, would I go back in time to witness all of the events that we have been studying over the past few weeks. On one hand, they would teach me the irony of loving and adoring my country and turning me into a truly patriotic person, and on the other hand, I would find myself without a toilet, so I find myself torn.